Hello, so today we are in the office and we're going to have a good look at the Mizzen Mast. There's a few jobs to do on it, and I've also got an exciting new little product I've developed for it as well. So without any further ado, let's brighten up this yucky autumn stroke winter day and get on and do some boat projects. So here's the mizzen mast, and this is the back of the mast. The original plan was to get this flag bracket to put on here, but as you can see, it's not curved and it's just too big. So I originally thought about making a bracket that this would fit to, but then I found out these holes are exactly the very awkward width. They don't clear the mast, so those screws would be chipping into the wood here. And I just thought it was inelegant. So this is what I've come up with. And I've 3D printed this myself and designed it myself. And what this will do is it'll actually click on the mast, find its home there. And then what we then do is secure it with zip ties. Now these zip ties actually will go around the mast and they'll be held in place by these ropes here, so this won't be able to actually physically come off from the mast, which is really good. And I've actually got four fixing points, but hopefully I only need to use 2. So that's how it'll attach to the mast. I'm not going to actually clip these on just yet. And then here's the flag, and this will slot nicely in here, and it's actually quite a firm fit. And then if I need to, well, I probably will put a little screw in here. Let's come out the shade there. A little screw in here just to stop this from falling out. And then you might notice these 2 holes here. Well, these 2 holes actually just allow access to smaller holes underneath, that if we need to, we can screw this into the mast to stop it spinning and give it extra security. I think what we'll do when we get the boat on the water, we'll test it with the tie-its. If the tie-its work and it's all fine, then we won't need to do anything. It doesn't really come away so easily because I've designed it just to clip over very tightly. But that's one mizzen mast flagpole holder done. So what we're gonna do is just release the sail from the mizzen mast. Now the top is secured through this line here, and this is looks just like a reef knot, so that should come undone quite easily. So it's just a reef knot, and then the line just goes around twice. Nice and easy. So that releases the head of the sail. So the top of this sail line here is just connected. I think that's called a sail hitch, or it's a something hitch. So I'm just going to take a little. Oh, my light's going funny. A little picture of that now. So we're going to now just get the sail off, and I think now we've undone this down the bottom here, we could probably just slide the sail off. I thought we'd slide the sail off, however, I'm not so sure that was such a good idea. Oh no, it is coming off now. There we go. So that's one sail taken off, and then this is one mizzen mast, as you can see. And I think, on inspection, this looks a little bit dirty. This looks like mould here, but like sometimes you get mould under the varnish, but if you can see that, it actually cleans up quite nicely. The further up the mast you go, let's have a little look at this. The more, it's starting to look like, there's a layer of varnish at the top here that perhaps is starting to just come off. You can see here, and like these little bits here, it looks like it's probably just been over varnished very quickly. So I think we should have a crack at sanding this down, revarnishing the whole thing, and then at the bottom here, this is the foot. I think it's called the foot of the mast. I think what someone's done here is just painted this in. This just looks like primer, waterproof boating paint primer. So I've got a load of that, and it's just worn off at the bottom here. However, the wood here feels really solid. It's not had any water penetration at all. So I think we just need to find a way of making sure this is kept waterproof, and ideally we put something on there that's got a little bit more resistance to abrasion. Maybe we'll just soak a little bit of epoxy in there, might do the trick. And then that would be the mizzen mast pretty much completely refurbished. So I think it's worth doing that. We've got time on our side, so I think we should, do what we can on the boat. I think it won't take very long to sand this, and then we'll get everything in my garage like we did last year, and we'll take advantage of the heat at the moment, and we'll get everything varnished. We'll have a quick look at this sail. This side of the sail, so this is the side of the sail that goes to the mast. Looks in pretty good nick. There's nothing rubbing through. The eyelet's, a little bit corroded, but absolutely fine. The head of is that the head yet? Little bit of wear on the head of the sail here. You can see actually that's had a bit of over stitching there, but it's absolutely fine. And then the most damage to the sail has been done by the sun, so very similar to my old jib. Now the biggest issue usually with this is if the stitching gets a bit knackered, and you can see there it has come undone a little bit there. So maybe let's have a try and have a sorry about this, trying to do it all with one hand. I mean, it does look really good. Other than that, let's have a look further down the bottom. Yeah, a little tiny bit of stitching here, just coming awry. So maybe we, a little bit there. Maybe we just get the sewing machine out, literally do a tiniest bit of overstitching there. But other than that, the sail's good. Let's see. This feels fine. And the rest of the sail's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So I think the mizzen sail has got a lot of life left in her, which is good news. So yeah, I guess the next job will be to get the mizzen mast sanded up and then varnished. So this is my Ensign, and I've never really been very happy with the way I've attached these zip ties to the eyelets. I put these eyelets in myself, so I'm going to snip those off. Let's get a knife. Try and do these really carefully. There we go. They need to be a little bit looser, and actually really the flag should fly using this piece of string here, and it should be sort of a bit looser. But the only trouble is I'm worried that it's just going to fall down like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some more zip ties, and I'm just going to not zip them up so much, and I'm also going to attach one to the top of here as well. So I'm going to put one around here and tighten that nice and tight, so it'll hold the flag at the top of the flag staff or flagpole. Let's do that, and then so there you go, that, and you can still move it, but it will hold it up there. And then what I might do is just make some nice looser zip ties around here, like so. So put them round, but actually leave them a little bit loose. I'm just a bit paranoid about about things ripping or flying away and whatnot. But I guess in the sailing world, you just have to get used to things wearing out and flying away. It's all part and parcel of the process. So they're nice and loose now. So you can see the flag will fly a lot nicer. And then this piece at the bottom, this string, ideally that would need to be, you know, tied around the flagstaff, but we don't really need it if we've got the tie-its. Now what could happen is, of course, the flag could do this. So there's nothing kind of now holding it down. So what we need to do is we'll use the length of that rope, and I think what we need to do is put a little screw in here, or another zip tie, because these zip ties do grip the varnish quite well. So what I'm going to do now is zip tie that at the bottom like that, and then that should hold quite well there. I like any solution that you know, that means you're not screwing into wood or anything like that. You know, any solution like that, I'm always up for. You know, at least as a temporary measure. You know, and I think that will actually allow the flag. Oh, if we just actually, that needs to now twist around a little like that. There you go. So I think that'll actually let the flag fly quite nicely, but without it pulling up. And if we need to put a screw down here to attach this to, then we'll do that. But at the moment, that seems to be working quite well. It also rolls up a lot nicer now. So when not in use, we can roll this little flag up. Whoa! We can roll this little flag up, and it'll just give it a little bit of extra protection.